very happy that again, as a country, we are continuing to work on our education reform, and that this time round, under the competence-based education and training, where we started with competence-based curriculum, and we had many challenges, and we had many questions, and there were a bit of confusion as to where this was going to go, and Kenyans were asking themselves, which way education in Kenya? I am very proud that today, our professionals in the education sector, working with the Ministry of Education and working with the government of Kenya, we now have a clear pathway that points to the future of our education in a meaningful and comprehensive way. That now we will have 3 pathways that is going to harness the talent and the pool of knowledge that is necessary for us to drive our education into the future. The STEM subjects are important, the social sciences are important, the arts and creatives are equally important. And that is why I've said beginning January next year, those pathways will be available for all our students so that we can grow this society in a wholesome manner. Mr. Chairman, music brings joy. I didn't, however, know, I have learned from you, that when everything else stops, there will be music in heaven. I didn't know particularly that part, but now I am informed. But it must also bring musicians dignity and comfort. I have met musicians from various regions and genres, and their complaint is always the same. The issue of royalties has been stuck in endless cycles of debate for far too long. That we must bring to an end. The Kenya Copyright Board must now take decisive action and resolve the collective management organization standoff once and for all. I am pleased to report that Kenya Copyright Board is now enforcing the requirement of 70% of royalties to go directly to artists, and that non-compliance will lead to loss of licenses for those who are involved. I further direct the board to implement a digital royalties system on the e-citizen platform without delay, even if it requires legislative changes. We must get rid of middlemen and brokers that are earning more money than the artists themselves. We cannot postpone action on something that directly benefits the very people whose music we all celebrate. The time to act is now, and this matter must be brought to conclusion this year. Ladies and gentlemen, the black tape levy has already collected 100 million shillings, which will go directly to supporting the creative industry. I have directed the Kenya Copyright Board to finalize fair distribution guidelines in line with the recent judicial rulings. And timely and ultimately, creatives must receive at least 70% of the proceeds from their work. The government has rehabilitated cultural centers such as the Kenya National Theatre, Bomas of Kenya, and regional hubs to provide affordable spaces for performance and training. We are exploring proposals to build additional cultural centers using funds from the housing levy. Counties are encouraged to establish creative industry hubs and to decentralize talent development. Mr. Chairman, what we have seen and heard today strengthens our conviction that our schools and learners must begin to earn from their talent and creativity. Until now, the situation has been unfair and outdated. To watch their own performances, artists have had to travel to Nairobi, select their pieces, and pay 1,000 shillings for a DVD that is their own work. Last year, I committed to create an online distribution platform for school drama and music performances. Today, as you have heard from the leadership of eCitizen, we are keeping that promise. The platform will be live on eCitizen, enabling students, parents, and fans to download performances instantly for less than Kenya shillings 250 shillings without having to travel to Nairobi, down from the previous 1,000. This is a bold leap forward, replacing DVDs with instant digital access and marking the first step towards building Kenya's own Netflix for local production. This initiative will enhance accessibility, promote creativity, and showcase Kenya's rich cultural heritage, both locally and globally. The Kenya National Drama and Film Festival and the Kenya Music Festival will benefit greatly as their visibility will grow, their audience will expand, and the work of our artists will reach far and beyond our borders. Art thrives when there is a strong consumer base, and not just the performers. We must take it easy to consume. We must make it easy for us to consume our own entertainment. I welcome the latest judicial decision upholding the direct payment of Skiza earnings to musicians, cutting out middlemen as the new law requires. However, we have noticed in the past that the artists end up with a short end of the stick. It is now provided in law that up to 52% should be paid to the artists, not 30%, as is the case at the moment. I challenge network providers to review their revenue splits and give a fair share to the artists whose talent drive their platform's success. I am aware that the Creative Economy Support Bill 2024 and the Culture Bill 2024 are before Parliament. I urge both the National Assembly and the Senate to fast-track their passage into law. These laws will unlock grants through the Creative Fund that is going to be put in place by this legislation. It will also provide